In this lecture, we'll study about the conflict equivalent. So let us come to the definition. If a schedule S can be transformed into a schedule S dash by a series of swaps of non-conflicting instructions, then we say that S and S dash are conflict equivalent. So let's suppose we have schedule S as well as we have schedule S dash. Okay, so in schedule S, let's suppose we have set of transaction Ti, Tj, and in schedule S dash we have the same set of transactions Ti and Tj. Okay, so let's suppose they are the instructions. I am just numbering it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's suppose there are 5 number of instructions. Okay, and let's suppose they are the instructions okay. So if we can transform this schedule S to S dash by a series of swaps of non-conflicting instructions, then we can say that S and S dash are conflict equivalent. Okay, so see here, if we get S dash from S by a series of swaps of non-conflicting instructions, then you can say that S and S dash are conflict equivalent. Okay, so in this example, if you see here, in this particular example, okay, so see how could you get S dash from S? If we can swap this instruction number 4 and 5, if you can swap this, then you can get this. So 4 will come after 5, instruction 5. Okay, so if these two instructions 4 and 5 are non-conflicting instructions, then you can swap and you can get it the schedule S dash from S. Then we can say the schedules S and S dash are conflict equivalent. For example, schedule 1 is conflict equivalent to schedule 3. So here we have one example here. Schedule 1 is conflict equivalent to schedule 3. So why? So see here. So here we have read B and write B. So first of all, we'll check. Can we transform this schedule 1 to schedule 3? Can you transform this or not? So see here, these two instructions and these two instructions of transaction T1 and T2. See, these two instructions working on data item B and these two instructions are working on data item A. Since they are working on different data item, so these instructions are non-conflicting instructions, so we can swap it. Okay, so these two instructions read B, write B can be written after read A and write A of T2 transaction. Okay, so these two instructions of T1 can be swapped with these two instructions of T2 and you can get this. So this read A and write A will come before read B and write B. Okay, so that is why this schedule 1 and schedule 3 are called as the conflict equivalent. Okay, now we have taken another example where schedule 1 is not conflict equivalent to schedule 2. Okay, so this is schedule 1 and schedule 2. So can you transform this schedule 1 to schedule 2 by a series of swaps of non-conflicting instructions? So see here, so in order to transform schedule 1 to schedule B, all these 4 instructions of T2 must comes before all the 4 instructions of T1. So it will go down and all these will go up. Okay, so see here. So this read B and write B will be at the bottom here. Okay, so see here in this particular example, read B, these two instructions can be easily swapped with read A, write A, because they are the non-conflicting instructions working on different data item. But this read B, write B, okay, so take an example of this write B. Write B cannot be swapped with read B. Write B cannot be swapped with read B. This because these two instructions belong to different transaction T1 and T2, and these two instructions are working on the same data item. Okay, working on the same data item, that is B, and one of them is a write operation, that is this one. So it cannot be swapped. Since this write B cannot be swapped with read B, so we cannot bring it at the bottom of this transaction T1. Okay, so that is why schedule 1 is not conflict equivalent to schedule 2, because we cannot transform schedule 1 to schedule 2 by a series of non-conflicting instructions, or we may say this by a series of swaps of non-conflicting instructions. Okay, so this is a conflict equivalent. So this much for today. Thank you.